table and bring in your mind's eye the beautiful world outside, and think of all the people that you know of and all the people that you do not know exist on this planet. Bring into your mind's eye animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, all kinds of life, and just give these thoughts and vibrations. May you be peaceful and happy. May you be safe and protected. May you be as healthy and strong as you can be. May you live with, one before. Yes. May you live with ease and kindness. And now bring your awareness to your own self, to your own body, to your presence. And give these loving kindness, powerful vibrations to your own self. May I be peaceful and happy. May I be safe and protected. May I be as healthy and strong as I can be. May I live with ease and kindness. Last. And very gently, whenever you are ready, you may please open your eyes. And my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for your presence, and my gratitude to Professor Sampadanandji for giving me this opportunity to be present here in this beautiful space with such wonderful fellow beings. Thank you so much. Yes, please.
Okay, the models of Swami Vivekananda, especially Jiddu Krishnamurti, and others, Aurobindo, are really the best. And your model of creative drama is also more. I have tested. I have run many management trainings, but for the businessmen, the question is, or there are two questions. The learning, the effective learning, is in doing, especially in interaction, at least within 1-to-1 or 1-to-3 and 2-4. But in the modern society, we see that the people, the young children communicate not with the people to people, but people to smartphone, to social media. And you can make this in the school, this theater or drama scenario, but what about when they children or people get out and take smartphones? They come to the coffee, especially in Western Europe, to a cafe. They sit together, but they communicate only with the thing, with the smartphone. Or the people I noticed in Jaipur in museum, not only in here in India, but they make only photos. They don't concentrate on the paintings and so on. There is not direct communication and direct obtaining of the knowledge or reinterpretation, but there is a concentration of the virtual thing. Photo is the virtual thing. What do you suggest? How to solve this problem?
I think
like in Australia or Sweden, to close for the young people. The
Thank you so much. This is such a valid question. So when we give those tools to them, then they are also living with self-awareness, with self-control. So it's not an external imposition of controlling that, oh, don't use your phone. The more we say don't do this, they are bound to do that more, right? Yes. So, yes, right. So that has to come from within, I think, the learnings, the self-awareness. I hope I answered it.
Thank you, ma'am, for this inspiring and illuminating session. Your work has shown how classrooms can become conscious spaces where creativity, awareness, and empathy are actively cultivated. By integrating creative drama with mindfulness, you have demonstrated how learning can engage the mind, body, and emotions together, fostering deeper participation in emotions fostering deeper participation and holistic growth. We are truly grateful for this enriching pedagogical vision. I now invite Dr. Polyakov Vitali Andreevich to felicitate Dr. Charuji with a token of appreciation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for gracing us with your presence. Now, we warmly welcome Mr. Evgeny Ryazev, a specialist at the International Scientific School of Universology and employee of the Institute of Non-Standard Thinking and Universology, as well as a specialist at the International Scientific School of Universology. Deeply engaged in applied universalogical practices, his work focuses on understanding the subtle dynamics of human energy and personal development. He will be speaking on the theme Personal Growth Through Unlocking Your Energy Profile, a session that emphasizes self awareness, inner balance, and conscious self regulation as essential components of integral education and holistic human development. Welcome, sir.
I am glad to welcome all conference participants. My name is Evgeny, and today I will tell you about a method what allows you to reveal potential or person of our system of life, what we are endowed in them from birth. Would you like to know our weak and strong traits? Would you like to know our potential? Of course, you do. After all, knowing one's potential allows to draw up effective path to development and exalt in many areas of life. The scope of application lies far beyond a mention a person. It can also be effectively used to reveal the potential of a family or even a large organization. So let's get started. And may this conference and the method we are about to discuss how each of us achieve success. Так, что не включается? Ассистент. Okay. The ancient philosopher Pythagoras also attempted to reveal a person's potential. His method used a calendar date, based on which four derivative numbers are calculated. Both the number of birth date and derivative numbers are filled in the squares on the table called the Pythagorean square. Each number in this table represents a qualitative value and a quantitative value. The number in this table are called potentials. This slide shows on the calculation details for the Pythagorean square on the date May 4, 2020. Are you familiar with this date? What important event happened on this day? It's a question. What important event happened on this day? The day, May 4, 2020.
Declaration of COVID.
Repeat?
Was it written separately? COVID.
No, no, COVID. According to information I found on the internet, Rishihood University was officially established on this day. This educational center will soon celebrate its 6th anniversary. Using the matrix method, we will perform on required calculations and reveal the potential of this educational institution. Analysis of this potential will help Rishihood University find the most effective way for its development and achieve greater success in the field of education. Drawing on experience of Pythagoras School, specialists from the International Scientific School of Universology created the matrix method. This method is based on the laws of nature, which are manifested in as follows. Cause-effect relations, stage of gaining experience, form creation, interaction, management, and transition to a new quality. 7 levels of space organization, cycle of 12 stage of gaining experience. The potential are not just carried randomly in this table. We are supersly rounded and have connection which is other. The color of each cells reflect the connection of a potential with human chakras and even with energies of the planets. Below, I will demonstrate how to use the matrix method for the May 4, 2020. The derivative numbers in this matrix method are important, and it's these numbers what specialists begin their potential analysis with, to better understand the system they analyze. The first and 2 derivative numbers are obtained by summing all the digits of the date of birth. The result of this summing shall be the potential inherited by system before and entered this world in incidents. This is a basic or natural way to develop a system, but it does not breed a new experience. Так, секундочку. The third and fourth derivative numbers reflect the current situation. Development with potential will require a lot of effort, but it will yield a new and useful experience. This is a harder way for a system, but bringing more experience. Please pay attention to what in our example, basic way and a hard way, both equal 4. This potential shows Rishihood university's desire to establish a new relation with other organizations. Joy be with you. Your development relation with them takes time and effort because it's a relation that will allow to you gain new experience. These first and sixth derivative numbers are not potential. They are guidelines for the qualities what need to be developed throughout life. Development with particular qualities will yield the maximum effect. These qualities are reflected in parentheses. Look at this slide and you can see in which cells on this table these qualities are located. The values on the parentheses should be understood as priorities for strategic development. This should be taken into account when drawing up long-term plans. Let's look at the entire table with potential for Rishihood University. To make it easier to understand the level of potentials, a model table is shown on the right side on the screen. By comparing the potential values in this table, you can determine the level of each potential separately. For example, the number 3, which denotes the willpower, is norm, but number 1, which denotes the available of material resources, is below norm. You need to pay attention for if potential above or below norm. You should actively make use of those high-level potentials and work to increase those of low level. Now we only have a look at the fourth column, which represents the sum of potential for each row. The fourth column is how Rishihood University representative by side views. The values from the column can be useful for creating your image or a unique style to present oneself on the social media. We have reviewed some of the points what specialists of the International Scientific School of Universology pay attention to while consulting based on the matrix method. This method indicates what the priority direction of development for Rishihood University should be development on the long-term partnership with other organizations. At this approach will yield the best result in the both the short and long term. The matrix potential can be mapped onto the 7 levels on system relations and 12 stages of development models. These models provide a good description of a system and will be valuable for analysis and planning. You can calculate your potential yourself using the matrix software. This software can be easily installed on Android phones. It has an intuitive user interface in English. Its software allows you to calculate the matrix, also a specialist day, and read detailed description for each value. You can contact me. I will help you install this app on your phone. You can also build the matrix and view the description of matrix potential as a web page. On the web page, you can select the language and input the desired date. There is a description for each matrix potential. With one click, you can build the metrics for the next day, which are very convenient for planning. This version of software has an option to look at the graph presence or absence for potential for certain period, which can be very useful when making time management plans. My presentation is completed. You look at the metrics method, which allows you to reveal the potentials and potencies of any system and build up a milestone plan for its most effective development. The metrics method finds its application in such areas as planning, picking up career, healthful lifestyles, family building, and role distribution as teams. We invite you to join in co-research in these and news areas. Thank you for your attentions. Thank you very much.
If you're interested in this method, you can touch with our specialist and we'll get this program and maybe practice tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this insightful and experiential session. Your exploration of energy profiles has helped us understand personal growth as a process of conscious self-awareness, balance, and inner regulation. By connecting subtle energy dynamics with everyday living, you have reminded us that integral education must address not only the mind, but the deeper forces that shape behavior, well-being, and purposeful action. We sincerely appreciate this enriching contribution. We are now honored to invite Dr. Nikhil Yadav, Saha Prant Sangathak of Vivekananda Kendra, Uttar Prant. His address on universal dimensions of integral education in the thought of Swami Vivekananda draws from India's spiritual heritage to illuminate education as a means of national and human awakening. Welcome, sir.
Very respected Professor Sampadanand Mishra ji, my dear sisters and brothers, my namaskar, my pranam to you. I feel honored to speak today on the theme Universal Dimensions of Integral Education in the Thoughts of Swami Vivekananda. I don't know how much of you know Swami Vivekananda. He was one of the greatest exponents of the Vedantic philosophy. We are blessed that in this university we have a big portrait of Swami Vivekananda downstairs with Yogi Aravind. One of his disciples of Swami Vivekananda, Sister Christine's, tell about the impact what Swami Vivekananda had on the West. She writes that millionaires and billionaires were happy to sit on the feet of Swami Vivekananda only to learn the ancient scriptures of India, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Upanishads, and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. See how Swami Vivekananda, after his 3.5 years of travel in the West, he came back to India. In his lecture titled The Future of India, he says about negative education, how he portrays it. He says a negative education or any training that is based on negation is worse than death. A child is taken to the school and the first thing that he learns is his father is a fool. Second thing, that his grandfather is a lunatic. Third thing, all his sacred books are lies. And fourth thing, that all his teachers, they are lunatics. And when I was in my graduation days in Delhi University, I could experience the same feeling. See, the tragedy is that I could personally experience the same reality during my graduation days. It is because, more often than not, the implicit message conveying almost 90% of the times was that we are nothing, that our forefathers do nothing, and that our ancient texts are merely mythological, devoid of any historical or scientific value. See, such an approach to education does not cultivate critical thinking. Rather, it systematically erodes self-confidence, civilizational memory, intellectual self-respect. This is precisely the kind of negative education that Swami Vivekananda warned against, an education that produced doubt about its own roots instead of inquiry, instead of understanding it more. So how should be education? He says, education is not the amount of information that we gather into our brain that remains undigested throughout our life. It should be man making, woman making, nation building, character building, assimilation of ideas. And he says, even if you assimilate 5 such ideas and make them your life, your character, you have much more knowledge than a whole heart of a library. If education is identical with information, then the libraries will be the biggest sages of the world, and the encyclopedias will be the rishis. So here what is important is Swami Vivekananda is talking about that until and unless we are not experiencing it, you can give many sermons, you can give many lectures, but until and unless the student is not practicing it, he is not experiencing it, he will not take that thing to his home. 3 major principles what Swami Vivekananda projected, and that are the main universal principles. See, lack of purpose creates chaos in life. Swamiji's message was very well taken by Mananiya Eknath Ji Ranade, the founder of Vivekananda Kendra and Vivekananda Rock Memorial, Kanyakumari. He says a person is reborn when he knows the mission of his life, the very purpose of his life. Until and unless his life is more about living a moment-to-moment life. In one moment he or she is living something, in another moment he or she is living something else. Swami Vivekananda puts it very well. He says, take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let your brain, nerves, muscles, every part of your body be full of that idea. And just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. This is the way great spiritual giants are produced. Here 2 things are very important. First is taking up one idea, a theme for a life for every student. And another thing, just leave every other idea alone. See, choosing one path not only means choosing one path, it also means rejection of all other paths. The moment you choose one path, you have to decide that yes, we have to reject all other paths. And to an extent or to a level that we see, that we have to choose between good and good. We enter a library, we read the titles of the books. Each of them is good, very good, excellent. So we have to choose between good and good, because we are having limited time and energy. Second, Swamiji says, he talks about the process. What could be the universal principles? He says the process and the process. The differentiation between 2 persons is the process and the process. He says, the biggest lesson of life is to focus on the means of the work, the process of the work. It is the cause that produces the effect. The stronger the cause, the stronger the effect. 99 point of the time you have failed, critically analyze, you will find that it was only because you haven't focused on the means of the work, the process of the work. He simplifies it. He says, speak, 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 and that becomes your thought. Think, 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 and that becomes your action. And it is your continuous action that becomes your character. And with this, he says, the third lesson what Swamiji says, that what makes us weak. He says, anything and everything that makes you physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually weak, reject it as poison. It cannot be true. Truth is strengthening. Truth must be strengthening. Truth must be invigorating. Truth must be enlightening. I think these three core principles of having a purposeful life. Second is more about the process. You take a aim, you take a goal, you take a purpose, very good. At a very early age, you take it up, but then you do not have a process. So you should have a sharp and a more specific process for it. And then the third thing is that anything, either it could be a human being or an environment or a gadget that makes you weak, it is like a poison to you. Another dimension of Swami Vivekananda, he talked on many type of kriyas and yogas, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raj Yoga, Karma Yoga. But he wrote only one book, that was Raj Yoga. Raj Yoga is more about the 8 principles of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I will only, in 2 minutes, I would only like to discuss about the first 2 limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga. The Yam and the Niyam. The Yamas are the moral restraints. The first is non-violence, ahimsa. Second is truthfulness. Third is non-stealing. Fourth is self-control, brahmacharya. And fifth is non-possessiveness, aparigraha. Now we come to the personal observances. The niyama, the rule for self-discipline. He says about purity, contentment, austerity, self-study, and surrender to the God. I think if even we can apply a couple of them to our life at a younger age, it will help us grow in a manner what Swami Vivekananda thought, to a holistic well-being. Thank you again for calling me, giving this opportunity to me. Thank you very much.